Okay, all praises and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakah Quadash. So welcome to GMS Playtime Over. And like always, like to give double honor to the elders, apostles of Great Millstone. And also shalom to the Akim, sincerely pushing the name of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua. My name is Lamadia. And in this video, I just want to talk about the food that we are consuming and how it's affecting our anatomy. And one of the reasons why people are dying from illness is because the Lord, the Most High, is not being examined and executed. Okay? And as far as exercising the laws of the Most High, being that we are in Esau kingdom, there's only so much that we can do to exercise the law of the Most High. That's why we need a divine intervention, because what Esau put in these foods, we should have already been dead long ago. But it's the Most High that's preserving our soul. And as you see in this video, or in this image, you're looking at a butcher shop and have a yellow spot in it, which is a tumor. And what happened a lot of time, what these butchers do, they will cut out the part with the tumor and they will wrap it and sell it to the people. So you're eating diseased meat. Or sometimes what they'll do is they'll cut around the tumor, or if it's a cyst, they'll cut around the cyst, or they'll squeeze out the inflammation out of the meat and they'll dye the meat and sell it to us as fresh meat. And that's wicked. And this is one of the reasons why so much people are dying from cancer. Okay, because the number one disease that's killing everybody is cancer. At one point, it used to be people fed catching HIV or AIDS. But there's people dying more from cancer than AIDS. You know, if a person catches AIDS, the chances of them living is more than the person that have cancer. Because you have cancer, people see what happens is when people get cancer, they do chemotherapy and that it doesn't work. And then throughout the chemo, you feel like garbage. You feel trash. You feeling fatigued half of the time until you die. Because the chances of living it usually be for like 2 or 3 years, if that. And then you die. But according to the law, the Most High gave us a dietary law. All right, we always go through that dietary law of unclean and clean food. But also gave us another law, and this is in Deuteronomy 14 and 21, and it says, "Ye shall not eat of anything that dieth of itself." So anything that any animal that died of itself, we're not supposed to eat of it, because chances is it died of itself because it was sick. So when you consume that meat, you also consume the bacteria, the viruses that kill the animal. So you transferring the disease over to your body. That's what the Lord told us, not to eat of anything that die of itself. And it says, "Ye shall not eat of anything that die of itself. Thou shalt not give it unto thou shalt give it unto the strangers that is in thy gates, that he may eat of it, or thou may sell it unto the alien." The word alien is synonymous or interchangeable with the word stranger. So it says, "For thou art a holy people unto the Lord thy power. Thou shalt not seeth a kid in his mother's milk. Now, when it says thou shalt not seeth a kid in his mother's milk, it doesn't mean. Well, first of all, let's break down what's a kid. The true definition of the word kid is talking about a baby goat, and it says thou shalt not seeth a kid or baby goat in his mother's milk. So that doesn't mean you can't drink milk, or not to boil you meat in the mother's milk. That's not what it means. Meaning if that goat or that animal or a young animal is still being nourished by milk, you're not supposed to eat it. Okay? You're not supposed to eat of that. But when you go to the supermarkets, they have something that known as Vel. And Vel is supposed to be a young calf. But that's against the law. That's against the law of the Most High to sell Vel or young calf. Animal, a cattle that's still being nourished of his mother's milk. That's what it means. Thou shalt not seeth a kid in his mother's milk. Well, Esau will still do it. That's why we need the law to return. So from there, I want to share a few videos, and I'm going to come right back.
Some of the shocking things I've noticed through my career in the butchering in Australia is quite a bit of the meat comes through in boxes, cryovac. That's something that might shock a lot of people, is that your meat isn't put out on the shelf that day. It actually does sit around for a few weeks, if not months. You just got to be careful. You don't really know what you are buying, unfortunately. There's quite a lot of cysts and cancer that come through the supply chain. It's impossible for the abattoirs to remove all these cysts and tumours that come through because it's inside the carcasses, so we have to cut them out. But then a lot of the meat still gets put on the shelf, whether it be pork, chicken, beef. If consumers knew, I think a lot would choose not to eat meat. Some of the shock.
Do this shit, huh?
That shit finna goddamn make me gagging, goddamn.
Why this shit? Me like Walmart.
Go get Tara, man.
Oh! Like a sin. Like a sin. Man, take all that shit back. I don't eat that shit. Oh my God! Hell no! Oh man!
Meat tumor, take one. What the? Meat tumor, take two. Showing later on YouTube. Is that what you want in your hamburger? 20 years cutting meat. I've never seen this. This can't be good. Let me see if I've gotten it all out. This will be going in the garbage, thrown away. Table will be sanitized, knives sanitized. What the? Should have listened to my parents and gone to college.
And a lot of times they will still save the meat. If they could still squeeze out some and make it look like if nothing's wrong with the meat, they will still sell it to you. It was a time I went to the supermarket and I went home. I know it's like a purple bluish spot on the meat. And it was actually what was it? Lamb breast. I bought lamb breast, and it was had like it looked like mold was growing around it. And I took it back, and I showed it to the manager of the supermarket, and she said to the butcher, she said it in Spanish pretty much like, she said that's disgusting. That don't look good. Like, get rid of that. And I remember coming back like a day or two, the same supermarket, and happened to look to the area with the meats, and I saw that same meat wrapped back up to sell again. And it looked like he just cut around it and put it back on the shelf. So this was going on. And this is why everybody's getting sick. But in the kingdom, when Israel get into the kingdom, we're not going to get sick no more. And this is why we need a savior. This is why we need to get the F out of here. You know, try not to curse. But this is why we need to get out of here. Because there's some sick stuff. Literally. But I'm going to close with this last scripture, Ezekiel the 4th chapter, in the 9th verse. And it says, take thou also unto thee wheat and barley and beans and lentils and millet and fitches, and put them in one vessel, and make thee bread thereof according to the number of the days that thou shalt lie upon thy side. 390 days shalt thou eat thereof, and thy meat which thou shalt eat should be by weight, 20 shekels a day. From time to time shalt thou eat it. Thou shalt drink also water by measure, the 6th part of a hin. From time to time shalt thou drink, and thou shalt eat. And thou shalt eat it as barley cakes, and thou shalt make it with dung that cometh out of man in their sight. Yeah, so the Most High told Ezekiel to pretty much mix. He gave him a recipe with man's feces or doodle to eat. But when you read on, Ezekiel, said, he'd rather not eat for a man, he'd rather eat for an animal. But it was all symbolism to what was going to happen in the latter times, or in the last days, which the days we living in today, which I'm going to read right now in the 13th verse. And it says, verse 13, and the Lord said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat they defiled bread among the Gentiles, where I should drive them. So that was prophecy. That was prophecy what was going to happen today, and how the food we consume was going to be defiled. And a lot of these foods we eat is carcinogens, meaning it causes cancer. A lot of, like, you buy canned food. Let's say it's vegetable canned food. Veggies, you leave veggies out, what's going to happen? It's going to go bad. Salmon. After a couple of days, fish going to go bad. But when you put something in a can that could last, it could stay preserved for 6 months, and you putting that in your body, what do you think is happening to your body? All these preservatives. It's breaking your body down. All these different chemicals. Because your body doesn't recognize these chemicals. And that's why you have a lot of people dying from cancer. So with that, I'm going to close. Until next time, I hope this video was edifying. Shalom.